What's going on, guys? Think Wavey back again with some more GBO2, and today we're gonna talk some FAZZ hidden stat shit. Basically, the stuff that you don't see. I'm gonna be looking up on the wiki to see what we have. And first off, the beam rifle is 10% times 2. Decent, nothing to really scoff at. It's pretty much average, honestly. For every other suit, it's pretty much 10. So double barrel, it's just gonna have 20. So we're going on to the Vulcans. The Vulcans are 5%. So that's 20 hits. Not bad, honestly. The double cannons are 25% times 2. So that's 50% if you can hit both of them. So pretty good weapon to start off, to build up stun if you need to stagger something quick. The back missiles are 17%, so that's 6 hits. I'm pretty sure that's the same as the regulars, easy and the easy. These incendiary missiles are 10%, and you also do a fixed 3,000 damage to the enemy. The burn damage does about 3,000. So that's a lot of damage, honestly. If you just hit one of them, that's 3k easy. So you spread them out, I guess, with these missiles. Like, you can actually rack up a lot of damage over time with these missiles. So pretty good poking weapons, basically. Both of the missiles, decent poking. Their ranges are really good also as well. So, and obviously we know what the high mega cannon does. It's a shame that you can't. Like, why can't they walk, and charge these weapons or boost like the MP can? I just got the MP as well, so I want to probably make a video on that. You might not want to see that shit, but I got all the collection now, so it's funny that that one does and this one doesn't. But at least the chest high mega cannon can actually be charged and move. But what also doesn't make sense is, why is it longer than the head mega? Why is it 7 seconds for? It's basically a worse. It's the same stun, but worse damage. But you charge it for longer. Make it make sense. Like, it should be honestly 4 seconds. Like, really. If it's gonna have a overheat that long as well, and the damage is not super high, but it kind of makes the suit a little bit slow to play. You play it slowly, innit? But at first, and then obviously once you shot all the weapons out, you're basically going in melee, basically. And we'll get into that in a second. But we're going to talk about the link fire. The link fire actually has a focusing time of 4 seconds, and stagger value. It has a stagger value of 10% times 3, so I guess each of the beams do 10%, but it does a heavy stun anyway, so 600 range. So you can pretty much abuse that pretty good, honestly. And honestly, as you can see, the stat wise is pretty solid, like all around, really. It's melee resistance is the lowest, but you can rack it up. So yeah, here's all the skills. The most important skills are like the balancer, the melee combo, power accelerator level 2, resist move. Those are like the best skills you can have, right? Because you're effectively a general with those skills. And obviously a power accelerator, that's like what Sazumi has, power accelerator. It's like, that's crazy to have that on a support, honestly. So Force Jets to level 1, but I know why they did level 1, because of the bio, but chest armor buffer is actually nice because then you basically get an extra 10% on all your defenses if they hit you in the chest, 15 in the back. The bio, honestly, to me, is what puts it over the Kshatriya for me. It literally counters the Kshatriya. Like Kshatriya is good. Like it's still powerful. But when a suit counters you, you're no longer the king. that's the way I see it. If a suit counters you, you're no longer the king. Because if like you could destroy all the generals, yeah, right. But if you got a FAZZ and a raid annoying you, right, or even just the FAZZ, just a counter shooting you, like you literally won't be able to do nothing to it. Like you won't be able to do nothing to it because it's got more instant stuns than you, and it's just gonna continuously like shoot missiles and all that type of stuff, and probably like might as well push towards you, right? Because you literally you gotta do quite a bit to stun it, so it's pretty interesting. And it's basically because of the anti-beam coating, completely counters the Kshatriya. But yeah, like I said, the Kshatriya can still destroy generals. But if you got a coordinated team and they're trying to avoid you and they get like the FAZZ to counter snipe you or like, like basically what I'm saying is the FAZZ is stronger against the Kshatriya. So if overall the advantage should go into the side that counters the Kshatriya if the Kshatriya is destroying the enemy team, right? If the Kshatriya is a problem for me and I have the FAZZ, like it should be less of a problem because unless obviously the raise on top of the FAZZ all the time, but like vice versa, right? And then it's kind of like an even match. But I feel like the advantage is in the FAZZ because if you catch the Kshatriya in a 1v1, you just destroy it. You beat it. There's literally nothing they can do. They have to try to outplay you some way, but like that's gonna be very hard. But yeah, coming back to the melee weapon, because everything else we pretty much know what they do. The coating basically drops your beam resistance by half when you go to half HP. But you activate biosensor mode, which now you get damage control 1, maneuver armor, and offense system. And couple that with the skills before, the general skills except for the resist move, which is like budget dodge roll, but it's still okay. As the best way to like dodge roll away from like melee weapons. Even if they're still gonna do damage to you, they're not gonna stun you. So it's still okay, but that's what we get. I wish like in bio we got the actual double dodge roll. This suit would be it'd probably be too much. It'd actually be broken probably if it could. It would literally just be a general at half HP. Like the thing about the suit is like it basically turns into this, right? Effectively, like the speed, like biosensor speed also increases by 25%, bro. I mean 25%, 25, sorry. And the top speed is 30 and the melee is 50, bro. So you're basically closer to enhance ZZ in the base mode, and you're actually faster movement speed, but you're basically general speed. Like if you check out the generals, they're like 130. You see here 130, 130. The FA turns that speed. That's crazy, bro. Like honestly, it literally becomes a general. Which basically it's a glass can. It's like a glass cannon general. That's the way I can see it. Like because you have to be careful in it because you're basically half beam resistance, right? And if you're making a build like this to abuse the melee, you got only 20 melee resistance. So like, it's kind of rough. They did like, to be more creative with the builds, like yeah, you kind of sacrificing quite a bit. 20 is actually decent against the generals. And honestly, to be fair, when I'm thinking about it, like even at 43, the raids would just demolish you anyway. So this doesn't really matter. This doesn't really apply to the raids. So generals still take quite a while to kill you. And if you think if they do melee you in your chest, that's an extra 30%. I mean, extra 10%, sorry. So you get even more damage reduction. So it's pretty, honestly, me personally, I put it over to Kshatriya. Just because the pure fact that it counters it, you know? If you got a raid and the FA annoying your ass, it's gonna be even harder because you can't shut down the support at all. You can't stop it at all from shooting at you. Like you have to charge up the heavy, and even then it just reduces to a normal stun, and then you can't do anything after that anyway, because your regular beam rifle doesn't stun. It won't stun it, and then you're fun. Like you literally all your shit is beam. You literally do nothing to this thing. So like to still be viable, I would say like don't get me wrong, Kshatriya is still mad powerful, like, and is still contestant to be still the contestant of being a king of the supports. But this is also right there with it, if not slightly better. Me personally, I like that's what I'm saying. Me personally, I put it slightly above the Kshatriya. Cause look what I'm doing. I'm just like I'm playing like a general, like with this build, man. Like I got quite a bit of thrusters, extra thrusters. I'm not like overheating like each boost. Fucked on my melee combo there, but I would have killed him. But about to finish him off with this. Yee. But come on now, man. What support is doing this? What support is really doing this? Like, you're not. Like, Kshatriya doesn't play like this, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to play like that with Kshatriya, because, you know, it's not got really high melee. But this feels like I'm just playing with the boys. I'm freaking frontline support, man. Like, you know. Like, you don't, like I said, you don't have to play this my play style, right? And I also play it back. Like, in some cases, in like bigger maps, I'll play it long range until they actually whittle me down to half HP, and then I'll go in as like a general, basically, and like pressure the midline, basically, and when I see the opening, because you want to play the mid lane, you don't want to go immediately into the front line, because you will get fucked up, right? Even with your double dodge roll, you know, you take damage still with your double dodge. So you don't want to actually go into the front line. You want to go into the mid line, and then when your generals push, you get your cheeky downswings in the net. If you catch a general one-on-one, take it, because they can't do shit to you. I mean, they can't do shit to you. They can still stun you. But if you're good and you know how to abuse your maneuver armor and your offense system, they can't stun you, right? It'll be harder for them to stun you. And you're just a general with effective damage. So that, to me, that is more valuable than what Kshatriya can bring. Kshatriya is consistent on what he does all the way through the game, but FA is easy, literally changes your playstyle, which to me is more interesting, right? And that's why I put it over. It's not only more interesting the bio just makes it crazy, honestly. It really does. If you can actually survive in that mode, right? Bro, you're doing way more than what the Kshatriya could do because you're applying more frontline pressure. Especially on small maps like this, I feel like a suit like this would do way better than Kshatriya. Kshatriya is a little bit more harder to navigate on a map like this as well. So also map dependent. Like I say, map dependent as in versus the FAZZ. The FAZZ can like play on most of the maps, right? And not really too much worry compared to Kshatriya, in my opinion. Because, for example, Arctic base, like Kshatriya can play on Arctic base, but I think it's tougher. I think it's way more tougher. Like this suit is tough to play on Arctic base, even with this suit, but it becomes easier when you're half HP. If you don't get completely destroyed and die, right? If you actually survive half HP, you're just basically, like I said, a regular general, right? With a bad dodge roll, with bad dodge rolls. But yeah, I thought I'd put up this video, like this footage, because like it kind of at the start, like you kind of see, like that's not even in bio, and I was freaking, going in crazy in the close quarters. So definitely fun. And like you still get destroyed. Like FF new, like it's still the best raid, and it's still gonna hurt you. So you gotta be wary of that. Another thing about FAZZ is if they do pierce through your armor, like depending on if they all shoot at you, you pretty much die because you can't. There's no iframes, right? So you dodge roll, you get no iframes. I guess the only time you get iframes is when you don't get any iframes. So it's kind of that's the only thing that's rough for the that's a support thing in general, right? Is like you kind of have to play harder, man. Like you gotta play harder as the support if you want to play at this play style. So I'm kind of like, but like I'm kind of hurting myself, but that's like what the suit was intended to do. So if you just get good at it, you eventually just become a god at it, right? And then when you hit half HP, you know how to position yourself. You don't die as quick, and you actually abuse the 50 plus melee. So in this build, I'm 100%. I'm 100. I'm max melee, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? So yeah, freaking hurts. And like my range is pretty much high. It's still high as well. It's like 62. Look at that, like that's pretty much 6K on a shot, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like completely destroys the freaking generals, man. Like I honestly do put this over Kshatriya, but just a slight midget. But that is my thoughts on the FAZZ. Let me know what you think. I'll catch you guys in the next one. God bless.